Hey VC, it's Glenn in South Texas. I know it's been a while and I appreciate you tuning in. I wanted to bring you another quick video. I've been kind of slow picking out here lately. I don't want to, I guess I could bore you and bring you a video every week and say, well, this week I found a water damaged Rumors and pretty beat up. And then there was this water damaged ZZ Top album, which was really after their prime, and it's not one of my favorites. But anyway, I don't want to do that to you. So I finally scored a collection. A lady that I know called me up and said, you know, Glenn, I've got a few records. I think she got it at like a storage auction or something like that. She said, you know, if you want to come check them out, make me an offer. So, you know, absolutely. Probably about 50 records. And is it just me, or is this album always just beat to hell? The Cry of Love from Hendrix. It's like this is, I'm sorry about the glare. This album is always beat up. It must be good. I've never actually listened to it. So I'm going to put this on my to-do pile, because this one, as bad as the cover is, and it's bad, the vinyl's not too bad. So I'm going to have to get used to these lights here, so I apologize if there's extra glare there. But yeah, kind of an interesting collection. Cream has a lot of weird, compilations and stuff out there. This is on something called Carousel. It's an import, and man, there's a lot of songs on here for it to be, oh wait, wrong side, there we go. For it to be, I don't know, a good sounding vinyl record. It's clean, but just another cheap compilation. Found a nice 80s pressing of the White Album, the Purple label edition. These sound really good. All the Purple issue stuff, I've never heard a Purple issue of the White Album. But all the Purple label stuff I've heard, the reissues, have all sounded great. I know they are somewhat coveted, I guess, as being some of the best sounding reissues. A little bit of water damage on there. I wish I could figure out a way to fix stuff like that, but I think that's just something that just gonna have to live with it. But clean vinyl, so happy to find that. Also, this is an 87 pressing, rainbow label pressing of Revolver. Now this is the UK version. It's a US pressing, but it's the UK version of Revolver. This is digitally remastered. I didn't know that though when I listened to it. Now I've got my originals over there, but I thought, well, I'm gonna clean it and I'm gonna give it a spin, and it sounded really good. Again, digitally remastered, but it is the UK version, and I was very impressed with, man, good bass and just good clarity on this one. So if you find it, it'd be worth picking up. Also an 80s pressing of Adam Hart Mother. I don't know that I've ever had a rainbow Adam Hart Mother. Usually it's on Harvest when I locate a copy of that. We also have a reissue of the Blues Breakers. This one is a Vinyl Lovers edition. Not sure if that's digital vinyl. Probably is, but I can't say for certain. Great album though. If you've never heard this album, it is a classic. And certainly one to add to your collection, whether or not you want the Vinyl Lovers edition or not. I'll have to get back to you on whether it sounds like digital vinyl. I don't know. I've got my original, but it's very clean, and should be able to sell it pretty quickly, I'm sure, at one of my pop-ups. There was also a little bit of Alice Cooper in this collection. From the Inside, not one of his best albums. Very freaky album. An album I believe he wrote while he was trying to get off the bottle. And this is one of the all-time great covers. And you got the back doors that open, and great condition. And the guy had a lot of his albums. I say the guy, I don't know. It might have been a girl that had this collection. I don't know. But a lot of them were in bags, so that's always good to see when you're buying collections. The Kinks, Marble Arch version of kind of Kinks, and so I'll take that. Very clean, and you know, nothing too amazing, but good stuff nonetheless, along with Johnny Winter Live, Johnny Winter and man, Rick Derringer, Johnny Winter, you got Bobby Caldwell on the drums. Just great stuff, you know. Down here in Texas, Johnny's pretty popular. Not everybody's cup of tea, but I think here, you know, it's been a few years since Johnny Winter passed away, and I feel like his stock is rising finally. The albino blues master himself, Johnny Winter, and a great live album, cool version of Jumpin' Jack Flash on that one. Now, here's one I had never heard before. Check this out. You ever heard of this guy? R.L. Burnside, A Ass Pocket of Whiskey. Okay, this is a Fat Possum reissue right here. And it is awesome. John Spencer Blues Explosion and this cat right here, R.L. Burnside, got together in the mid-90s one afternoon and just jammed. And then that was this record right here. And again, it's a Fat Possum reissue. It sounds awesome. You can find this on YouTube. I suggest you give it a listen if you like loose, loud blues rock. Very loose, very loud blues rock. A little profane at times. Check it out because it's very cool stuff. Again, I'm glad I discovered this one. A Ass Pocket of Whiskey, R.L. Burnside, right here for you in the shrink. Gotta love that. Then there was some Waylon Jennings. Not my favorite album from Waylon, but man, Waylon looking rough, boy. Old Hoss looking rough in that picture. And I've always been crazy, of course, a big hit for Waylon Jennings. This has got the Buddy Holly medley and some other stuff on it. You know, good stuff. Hey, anything Waylon Jennings is good stuff in my book. My favorite album, not Honky Tonk Heroes, which I know is a lot of people's favorite, and it's a good one. Billy Joe Shaver wrote a lot of songs on that album, but Dreaming My Dreams is one of my favorite Waylon Jennings albums. If you've never heard it, if you like outlaw country and Waylon Jennings, it's a very good album produced by Cowboy Jack Clement. Dreaming My Dreams. Recommend you check that one out. Also in this collection, a little Hitchhiker from Neil Young. I haven't checked this out yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Neil's kind of hit and miss, you know. I'm more of a fan of the Crazy Horse stuff, to be honest. Have you ever heard of this guy? James Mcmurtry. Now, his dad wrote Lonesome Dove. His dad is was a big time author in the state of Texas, a legend. And James was kind of in his shadow until he started making music. And man, I'll tell you what, James Mcmurtry live is just very cool, man. He is he's a one-of-a-kind, great songwriter. This has got For All I Know on it. For All I Know. It's also signed. I recommend, too, that you check out Live in Aught 3 for some James Mcmurtry live. I first saw James Mcmurtry live one-on-one. He was on, he came on in between a shift change for the morning guy, and then I was the midday guy. This was probably 1992, I want to say. And James had just released his Candyland album, and he came in, very professional, said hello. We had a spot for him to sit down in front of the microphone, reached in his pocket, pulled out a Pearl beer, cracked it, killed it, and then killed us with some great music, man. James is just awesome. So again, maybe somebody that you might not have heard of, I recommend you check out James Mcmurtry. We also have some Southern Culture on the skids. A little 10-inch EP action. Got some Iggy and the Stooges. Jesus loves the Stooges. Still haven't listened to these. This is like a 3D deal, complete with the glasses. So very cool. And I definitely want to listen to that. I want to listen to this as well. Double Danger. This is recorded in 1973. God, that glare is killing me. Sorry about that. We'll fix that on the next video. But some sort of reissue here. I'm not sure if it's a bootleg. I don't know how it sounds. I think it sells for about 20-30 bucks, something like that. Can't be too far out, but something worth checking out. And I'm a Stooges fan. Not as big as some of you, but love that. Love me some punk. I grew up listening to a lot of the 80s type punk, like these guys, the Meat Men. These guys, this came out in like, I want to say 84, maybe a little later than that. Somewhere in there, somewhere in the 80s. I don't know, the 80s, were, if you remember the 80s, you weren't there. How about that? So, pretty clean. Pretty clean vinyl on that one. A little smudgy. Anyway, some Dead Kennedys in the collection as well. DK! Too Funk to Druck. How about that? That's the Cherry Red Records product, the UK edition of this one. I think the, I want to say the American edition, I remember the cassettes were black and white. Were they? I don't remember. It's been a long time ago. But pretty cool to have this. And a little more Dead Kennedys for you. Okay, EP on this one. I'm not sure if this is a... I believe this is the USA pressing. They had to make it different because of the cover. It would have been considered counterfeiting. Is that true? I had to look it up on Discogs. I'm not gonna lie. Something to that effect. I was never the biggest. I was more, I mean, I liked the Dead Kennedys. Violent Femmes were cool. You know, to be honest, I loved all of that kind of stuff. Anything that went against the grain when I was in high school, I listened to it. I dug it. Okay. But mostly it was like everything Metallica, Merciful Fate, King Diamond, et al. When I was in high school. Now, this was the real cool find. Operation Ivy. Reading up on these guys, by the way, this is a first reissue of this. And I say that because it's got the Berkeley address on it. And but it's very clean on Lookout Records. Operation Ivy. They actually are really kind of we're at the forefront of ska punk and that kind of stuff. I hear a lot of what Green Day was about in the early days when I listened to this. As a matter of fact, I believe Green Day ended up playing what was supposed to be their album release party, Operation Ivy's album release party. At least that's the story I got. And but the band had already broken up, so Green Day stepped in and played the album release party, if you can believe that. And it was on the internet, so it's got to be the truth, right? Anyway, okay, well, that's about it. I did find one other thing. This was kind of cool for you guys who, actually I got two more things. For you guys who like the 7-inch stuff, this was a band in San Antonio, and they were a funk disco band, and they were huge. They used to, San Antonio's a big military town. They used to play all the bases and stuff back in the, from about 1977 on through the mid-80s. And very, very killer band. This is a sought-after little single right here. drenched in funk and got some hair hanging off of it. See, I hadn't cleaned these up yet. These are fresh finds right here for you. Only the freshest stuff on your video, kids. But very cool if you're into disco and funk. These guys were great, and as a matter of fact, I think they've got their stuff coming out on reissues right now, and they've gotten the band back together, man. So you can read that. So what you want to do is go to their Facebook page, check them out, and some of their stuff's listed on YouTube too. Check it out if that's your thing. And this was something else I found that was interesting. Now I'm like, you know, looking at this and I'm thinking, Bessie Smith, you know, this is clearly a 50s edition 78. It's thinner, you know, it's more, I guess that's vinyl. And so I started reading up on Bessie Smith. If you don't know the story of Bessie Smith, this is Give Me a Pigfoot and It's Time to Jump and Shout. Now, Give Me a Pigfoot was released, I want to say, in 1932. A long time ago. Bessie Smith was an absolute superstar back in the day. And her death on Highway 61 is an amazing story in itself, but her whole life story is certainly interesting and worth checking out. Give Me a Pigfoot and a Bottle of Beer. I was happy to find this. This was reissued like 18 years after her death. And just really cool stuff. Another reason why I like collecting records, because, you know, as old as I am, and I'm not in my mid-50s just yet, young man, but I'm getting there awful fast, and it just is amazing to me how much I don't know about records. So keep that in mind when you're watching these videos. I don't know everything. I'm learning just like you. I've just been a record degenerate longer than a lot of you. But welcome to the club. Thank you, VC, and everybody for watching. I'm Glenn in South Texas. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you again real soon.